we're going to talk about how to fight with walking canes. I'm going to show you different canes, some of the attributes. These are Cane Masters self-defense canes. It's the best I think you can get for self-defense. The Americans with Disability Act in this country allows you to take them everywhere. Most developed world countries, you can carry canes with you. It's a medical device. I'm going to show you how to use it. The first thing I want to show you, get right into how to fight with canes for self-defense, how to use your self-defense cane. Sliding your hand down the front, pick it up between you and the threat. You can thrust, and then you have angle strikes coming off of the shoulders. You can bring that angle up and through the body. You can bring it through and back in a horizontal strike, and then you can come down on top. I'm going to show you that again in the other hand. I always want you to practice with both hands evenly. From here, bend the knees, slide the hand down, pick it up. You just point your thumb at the threat. It's between you and the threat. The other hand comes up and is close. You can thrust to stop his forward advance, bringing it to your shoulder, striking through. You can go into the temple, into the jaw, into the neck, into the ribs, into the arm, into the knee, into the lower leg for self-defense. It's all that same angle. It's just different height coming from the same or the opposite shoulder. It's the same thing. Now the key here is keeping the cane between you and the threat. That means coming off your shoulder and never from out here. If you come from out here, he closes the distance, the arm wraps around him. You never hit him with your cane. You want to let this hard piece of oak or hickory, I'm going to show you hickory in a minute, let that do the work of self-defense. You're using your self-defense cane or your walking cane as a force multiplier, taking what you have naturally, your ability to strike with your hands, your body, moving your body into it, and you put that cane in your hand, and now you can hit with a lot more force and with a material that's harder than your hands. So you bring it through here, you bring it down the other side, turn the palm up, bringing these angles up. Think about taking out the knee, into the ribs, into the hand. Maybe he's reaching at you. If he has something like this, you have reach advantage. So you're able to hit him before he can come through and slash or stab or do all the horrible things that he can do with a blade like that. So you're coming down at these angles. You always practice these angles coming up, coming through horizontally, back the other way. Again, different levels, to the head, to the neck, into the ribs, into that hand, down into the legs, all horizontal strike, and then coming down on top. There's a question that we have in self-defense. It comes from Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer. I put the link to the canes if you want to see what they're made of. I put the link to that book, When Violence is the Answer, in the description. His question is, what can you remove or destroy? His ability to see, breathe temporarily, permanently, his ability to be upright, to be able to grab you. Hello, Eleanor, it's good to see you. You're trying to remove that. You're trying for self-defense, using violence against violence. That's how somebody who's not as big, not as strong, not as young as an attacker or multiple attackers can still defend yourself by using principles of self-defense, like in that book by Tim Larkin, When Violence is the Answer. If you read the book, you'll understand it very quickly. It's a simple book with profound concepts for self-defense. If you apply these principles of self-defense and the techniques of a walking cane, then you'll be very much able to defend yourself. So the first set of techniques I just showed you, put it back in the other hand. You're gonna slide the hand down the other way. Hey Jay, Jay's here from Pennsylvania, just subscribed. Thanks for being here, Jay, thanks for subscribing. Sliding the hand down, notice that you're bringing your other hand up, put it between you and the threat. There's the thrust. Think about 2 angles down, 2 angles up, come through, come back, put it down on top of his head, put it in the other hand, practice evenly. If you need a cane for mobility, so if you were to pick up your cane and you'd fall to the ground, you can fight with 2 canes. You can be in a wheelchair. I get this question a lot lately. What if I'm in a wheelchair? You can put this across your lap. I have had students in a wheelchair full time, and they carry their cane in their lap as a self-defense tool. But you can lean onto one cane, sliding the hand down the other one. You can use the cane in the other hand for self-defense. You don't always have to do the same pattern, by the way. That's just for practice. And then once you ask yourself, what can I remove or destroy, from Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer, that will give you a target to acquire and a technique to use for self-defense. Knock him out, turn off his operating system if you can for self-defense. I'm gonna put this one back. I wanted to show you this first though. That's the palm rest. Some of you have a palm rest. You say, what's the palm rest for? The palm rest on the Cane Masters self-defense canes was unique to their canes. Now other people are doing it too. But this palm rest, when you turn the cane in a different position, so crook facing out, and you put your hand on it to use it as a mobility device, and you're leaning into it, that spreads the pressure and takes the pressure off your wrist and makes it ergonomically easier to use. You can also turn it in a way, then jam and stick that in through one of those target areas that you might acquire, and that becomes another striking surface. You can also think of it as like a little hatchet or an axe. We'll talk about those strikes here in a minute. I'm gonna put that back. I'm going back to my dojo training cane. I want to show you some more techniques. The second type of technique, we've slid down the front. I'm going to have you turn it facing crook out. You're going to slide down the back. This comes from Irish stick fighting, from shillelagh. The Irish stick fighting, it's hundreds or maybe thousands of years old. Basic techniques. People in Ireland carried these sticks. They carry the shillelagh, and then they would use it to defend themselves or fight other clans. So the stories go. I wasn't there, but I know that there are historical accounts. And some of these techniques that we use, so I pull techniques from a lot of different styles. Some of it is this first set. That's more a short sword or a kali stick, for those of you who know about Filipino martial arts. This style is going to be more coming from the Irish fighting system, just getting into it anyway. So from here, I'm sliding down the back. My other hand is coming up. You're going to always bring this hand up. This way you can put your helmet on. Putting your hand on your head allows you to absorb the strikes if he's going to hit you in the head, and you can get behind it and stop that way. Doug said he was in Central America a couple months ago. He had his cane masters with him. Doug, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Sliding here. I'll come back, I have to read it. Those comments pop off. If you could put that in the comment section, that would be really helpful. Your hand is here. In the same way your hand went down the back, a guy aggressively came after Doug. He brought his cane up for a bayonet strike, and the guy backed down. That's exactly what we want it for. Put the cane between you and the threat. Violence against violence. He could be younger, faster. Could be a multiple groups, a bunch of different people. He could have a weapon on him, and you're going to use your cane to defend yourself. That's the whole purpose of the Cane Master Self-Defense Walking Cane. There's a link in the description if you want to see. This is my favorite starting cane. This is the Cane Masters, the Dojo cane, because you guys ask me a lot. And sometimes I forget to tell you what each one is called. I don't know what they're all called, by the way. But this is one of my favorites because it's so simple, so basic. I've had it forever. I've hit everything with it. It's got knife marks all over it as we've practiced with it. You'd rather get cut here on your cane and then not here. I just sharpened my knife. I gotta be careful. I keep my blade sharp. If you carry a blade, you should keep it sharp. Instead of getting your skin cut, you can even, and I'm gonna show you that as we get back to this second way of using your cane for self-defense. Sliding down here, you can bring it up in a way that you can get behind it and then let him hit that, guarding yourself. And instead of breaking your bone or hitting your bone, especially if he's swinging with something, it's a force multiplier. Take what you have naturally, you put your other hand behind it. Now you're really able to brace well, and then you can bring that across his face. There's a strike, there's a strike. You can bring it down on top, you can bring it up at an angle, and you can start in this position. From here, you can also punch with it. You can hook, you can uppercut, you can use the long side up between his legs, up under his chin. Maybe he's reaching, smashing the hand. You can throw it into your other hand, and now you're smashing through here. You can chop with the back hand like an axe. You can push and shove almost like a bayonet or a rifle butt strike. You can turn it this way and smash through his face using this to move him back. If you can control his head, you can control his whole body. So you move him out of your face. The whole purpose of this is self-defense. We're talking about fighting with self-defense canes, how to use self-defense canes. This is, again, kind of like an entry-level model, something you might practice with. I'm gonna show you one of my favorites, which is the Night Traveler, or the Stealth Night Traveler, I think they call it. But it's got this piece here. They've cut out some of the material. This one's made out of hickory. And so it's lighter and it cuts through the air a little bit faster, but it also this bevel here, let me show you the end off, because we're talking about fighting with self-defense canes. Because they've removed this material, now more of the force is concentrated in this, what I call a dull, like knife blade. Now, it's not the same as the round one that we just had, but it'd be similar like if you had an octagonal shape. Anytime you have an edge like that, it's going to concentrate more force in a smaller area. It's going to compress the flesh and break the bone. So you're better able to defend yourself with that first set of strikes that we did, the basic angles, using it this way. I don't know if you can hear it cutting through the air faster, and that's because of this, because they've removed that. You can also, the way we just used it, sliding down the back, or you can pick it up and slide it into your hand. There's that punch, hook, uppercut, smashing between the legs, across the face, through the ribs, into the knees, keeping it down, throwing it to the other hand, thrust, chop, smash, push him back with this. Imagine that hard piece of oak going through his nose, his teeth, his chin, into his throat, moving him off of you for self-defense. And that's the other one. So what I wanted to show you was, fighting with self-defense canes. So different canes. I'm gonna get to my favorite one here in a second. Show you the one with the palm rest and how you might use that. This one has the fancy eyes. I think that's just for looks. But this part here, this bevel, you'll see the bevel on almost every cane master. So always different style. Some are a little bit more sharp. That one's a lot more sharp. Here's the eyes again. He's got green eyes, he's got red eyes. It's personal preference, whether you like that or not. I don't care one way or the other. But because of that bevel there, you can dig into the tissue, dig into the soft tissue on the body with that. You can smash him in the face, reach in, and then dig and remove some of like his eyes, nose, his teeth out of his mouth for self-defense. It's all for self-defense, not for being aggressive. It's not for fighting. Someone always puts in the comment section, well, if you carry that cane, that's intent. Shows you're going out trying to pick a fight. And I say, no, you have to imagine, you have to apply the same concept of a concealed carry, and I don't have mine with me, but if you were to carry a handgun concealed, you might live in a state, if you live in the United States, where you're allowed to carry. I have a license, and I'm also in a constitutional carry state, which means I don't need a license, but I do have one. And this is a lot more dangerous than this. This is a great option. It's a great gray man, gray woman option. Like I said before, I can't carry my gun into the airport. I can't carry it into, we went to spring training. That's why I'm so red. We went to spring training this weekend, into the ball game. You have to go through a metal detector. You have to go through multiple layers of law enforcement just to get into the game to watch. We watched the Nationals and the Astros. It's a great game, evenly matched. But I can't take it. I can't take that. I can take this there. I can take this onto the plane. I can take this into the courthouse. You can take this into the ball game. You can take this into the music performance at the big venue, the concert, I don't know if you're going to Taylor Swift. I'm not going to Taylor Swift. But if you were and you needed to carry something for self-defense, this is one of the perfect options. That's why I like this. And someone will say, well, you can't take a cane to a gunfight. That's not the point. We're not taking a cane to a gunfight. You're just giving yourself a few more options. And I wanted to show you how to fight with canes, with walking canes. So I'm going to pick I just like the color and I love the way it feels. This is hickory. It's got this nice dark finish. It has more features for self-defense here. Makes for a better grip. It also will rip flesh if it needs to in a strike. And this one, because the way it's made, moves very fast. I showed you two ways to use it. I showed you sliding down the front, get it in the fight. The angles, coming down, coming up, coming across, and coming down on top. I showed you how to turn it around so the crook was out. Sliding down almost like an Irish shillelagh. From here, smash, hook, uppercut, hitting with the long side, getting behind it, blocking if you had to, putting in the other hand, smashing, chopping, rifle butt, smashing through his face. You can even box his ears here. I want to show you from this position. This works with this position. crook out. And again, remember I told you it's ergonomically better, even without the palm rest. Because if you look at the way it works, coming down your long bony arm, out of the pinky side, it continues. That long side comes out. Eleanor says she's very enthusiastic to recognize it as a self-defense tool. The cane is a walking stick is a self-defense tool. If it's this way, it takes the pressure off your wrist. When it's this way, the way that most people traditionally use them, it puts more pressure on your wrist. You have to actually muscle it a little bit more. You have to have stronger wrists. I found that when you do it like this, you're gonna like this better. This is much easier when you are leaning into it, when you are using it as a mobility device. My hip is so bad. I have a date for a hip replacement surgery coming up. I had this one done a couple years ago. I put this on off for way too long. Hurts all the time. My knees are hurting all the time because of my hips. My low back hurts because of my hips. But when I walk with my Cane Master self-defense cane, it takes the pressure off. So I'm not just saying that you can use it for self-defense, and I'm not someone who uses a cane. I am someone who does use a cane. Just in case, that was a question. I wanted to put that out there. From this position, you have a motion where you can simply bring your hand up like you're offering your hand in friendship. Would be better than having to smash somebody, but he's trying to take your life, your freedom, your dignity. He's trying to hurt you, your family, your child, your wife, your grandchild. You're gonna bring that cane up and you're gonna stop him. From here, you're gonna turn your hand down and you can swing it. Palm faces the sky, and that becomes a very powerful strike with this hickory self-defense cane. Bring it up and bring it down. You can practice it on one side, you practice on the other side. This is another good, if you need a cane to lean into, self-defense move. Now you're leaning into this one and you're fighting with this one. So it's a good one-handed technique. Two-handed techniques are always going to be superior because you have two hands on your cane. But if you had to, you can still defend yourself with your hand on one, or just one hand on your cane. If you had to lean into the other one. So from here, bring it up and turn it down. From here, you can also bring it across and back, kind of like a windshield wiper. Or those of you who were in law enforcement, you remember the PR-24 in martial arts, we call that the tonfa. But that's basically the same motion. Swing it across, swing it back, bring it up over your shoulder and down, bring it from the other shoulder and back. And I want to show you how to practice that, how to get really good at that. Then I'm going to show you how to get stronger with your strikes. Your palm is up, the long side comes out of your thumb, and you're going to crank it forward in this combat cane spinning technique. Now, you don't have to call it that. Other people call it that. Eleanor says, thank you for the continued demonstration. While suffering under pain. And yeah, I always have pain. I was thinking that the other day because my wife said, you're gonna get your hip replaced, you'll finally be out of pain. You've been in pain for a couple years. And I thought, I've been in pain for as long as I can remember. I don't know what it is. I know what it is. I abuse my body. I do all kinds of things that I want to do. I explore. I did mountain climbing. I did distance running. I was in the Marine Corps. I was in the Army National Guard. So it was weekend pain, 1 weekend a month. But and I've done martial arts since I was a little kid. And I don't regret it. I don't regret 1 second of it. I'm blessed. I feel blessed and highly favored that I was able to do all that and still continue to evolve and grow and continue to engage my body in ways like this and to work with you. So all you're doing is you're just developing callus on your hand. It's almost like a boxer skipping rope, so this becomes a kind of cross training for your cane strikes. This is going to improve the speed of your strikes. Almost just whack myself. Coming over and back, think about slapping him, follow with a backhand across the face. Your other hand is up and out of the way. Don't ever let it dangle down there, keep it up. And then you throw it into the other hand, palm faces the sky, long side coming out of the thumb, over and back. And there are many ways to do it. You can get fancy and start adding other spins in, or keep it simple. I'm a simple person. I don't do a lot of fancy spins. I do what I need for me to get fast, to get stronger, to stay fit. I also noticed that when you do this, it's going to bring your heart rate up a little bit. It's going to improve your overall health and fitness. Now, my favorite, strength exercise with or without cane self-defense training. That means I would do this even if I didn't Wasn't doing it for my self-defense cane. You're gonna put your band, this is just a resistance band like you use to help do pull-ups or you do like a garage workout. These things are really inexpensive. I put a link in the description. You put the long side in front of your chest, and kind of swing it back there. You're gonna grab it with the other hand, and then you bring the loop over the other side of your cane. Now you've got a gym. You've got an entire gym with your walking cane and a band. Don't go too thick though. If it's really thick, it's really hard to move, too much resistance. This is about the perfect amount. Even half of this is good. If you wanted to get 2 bands, get a little bit thinner one, and then this one. You do almost any exercise you can do in the gym and save a lot of money and frustration. People sitting on the gym taking selfies with their sticks, making their influencer videos or whatever they're doing. Your hand comes here, and I know I have a channel, but I can't imagine filming myself in a public place in front of everybody while you're trying to get a workout in, and I'm there. I don't know, who knows what they're doing. All right. It shows it's a lot of these young men. They go in, they've got their phone on a tripod, and they put it like right in my space while I'm trying to do my quick workout. And I'm gonna get in and get out. I don't like hanging out in the gym. So you're just doing these standing push-ups. And when you do an exercise like this, especially as you get older, you wanna go for time under tension. That means at least 45 seconds. Hey, Dorina's here from Quezon City, Philippines. Thank you very much. It's good to see you in the Philippines. Pushing out. Every time I think of the Philippines, I always wonder, is it as hot and humid there as it is here in South Florida? It's starting to get hot again. It's starting to get humid. I think the Philippines probably can get a little bit hotter. So we're gonna push down for that second set. But a beautiful country, very beautiful country. As you're pushing down, you're now activating the lower part of your chest and the muscles that when you need to push somebody off of you, get them off of you, get yourself up and out of a chair, you have that strength just by pushing down. And again, time under tension, 30 seconds at least. I'd go to 45 seconds maybe, but I'm telling you, this is burning me up. It's burning up my chest muscles and the tricep muscles, all the muscles that you're gonna need to defend yourself. And the third way, standing push-up I like to do is up at an angle to hit the upper part of your chest. And I almost can't do it. It's almost, my arm's too sore. I had a workout yesterday, so I think I'm still a little bit sore for that. But I want to show you 2 other ways that I like to use this. This one is just for the triceps, the back of the upper arm. And that is bringing it to your head and pushing. And as you do this, pull your stomach up and in, keep your abs tight. You can bend your knees a little bit so you have good posture. You can even do it seated in a chair. Going for like 30 seconds there. And I know that's not 30 seconds, but I'm not kidding when I tell you that it's burning. Like a better workout than you can get in the gym, I promise you. Well, unless you're still young. Like when I was 19, I was in the Marine Corps and I had nothing to do because I didn't have a family. I worked, I went to the gym, I went to sleep. Worked, went to the gym, and I lifted heavy weights. That was a better workout, but for a different purpose. Those were all looking muscles. They weren't fighting muscles. These are fighting muscles. This is what you need to defend yourself. Who cares what they look like? They'll look good too, but you're gonna be strong, is my point. Strong and fast, explosive, because of the bands. You put it under your bum, and you sit into it a little bit, and you curl. And when you curl for 30 seconds or more, squeeze at the top of the motion so that you activate your bicep muscle. A lot of people don't know this, but boxers, when they knock somebody out, a lot of times that's because they have a strong upper arm. It's, it's turning through the shoulders and hips, it's rotating and extending the arm, it's moving the foot, but it's also throwing all those punches. You're gonna get stronger arms with this bicep curl. You can bring your hands in for the second set and hit a different part of that bicep muscles. Bicep meaning 2, right? And then the third way I like to do it is turn your palms down, outside or inside the band. And now you're gonna activate the muscles here in the brachialis, and that's what's going to get that grip so strong, so that when you're doing your striking with your cane, you're hitting so much harder and so much faster. That's how to use canes, walking canes, for self-defense. I just showed you a handful of techniques. There's so many more you can learn. You can also learn how to do more blocks. You can learn how to do more joint manipulation, pressure points, come along techniques, but I don't teach those as much. I want you to learn first, I want you to learn practical self-defense. Use it like a sword or a kali stick, a screamer stick or an knee stick in the Philippines. You know all about that. Learn how to use it like an Irish shillelagh. Learn how to use it like a tonfa or a PR-24, a policeman's baton. Keep yourself safe. Multi-fed up, 75, 50 years of concrete wheat. Those are some powerful muscles. If you've been doing concrete work for 50 years, you probably have two things: extremely strong grip and a lot of arthritic pain. I'm just imagining all the things that I've done with my hands and the way we work. I missed the rest of your comment. I'll come back and I'll read that later. But I appreciate you guys being here. If you need a band or the book is the key. None of this works without that When Violence is the Answer book, The Principles of Self-Defense. That's the key. Doesn't matter what your techniques are. Techniques will get you killed. Principles will save your life. Read that book. There's a link in the description. Yeah, Eleanor says her age is more conducive to the bands. And Eleanor, I'll be honest, I think the bands are better at every age. I think they're better for the young people. I think they're better for the middle-aged people and the older people. Not just because they're easier on your joints, but because they make you strong and explosive, and they make you hit harder, and you can move through multiple ranges of motion. You just anchor it to the wall or the floor, and you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Multi-Fed Up says, like your classes. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you and your time, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I think we're going to do one tomorrow.